Okay, it is now 7 o'clock. Call meeting to order. Rita, please do roll.
Patrice Blairman.
Here.
John Croctow is excused. Claire Kura is unexcused. Alex Inspecti.
No.
Lisa Karajan is unexcused. Patrick Lewis is excused. Heidi McKay is late.
On her way.
Richard Niederberg.
Here.
Eric Previn is excused. Craig Radow.
Here.
Robert Schiller.
Here.
Keith Schwellenberg.
Here.
Richard Welsh.
Guilty as charged.
Andrew Sussman.
Maybe.
Oh, sorry, that's my
Katie Via here.
response.
Denise Welving.
Here.
Okay, so we have 10 voting members present,
Yes.
6 to pass the motion, 1 stakeholder present. Thank you. I'm sorry,
Two
2
present.
stakeholders.
Two stakeholders.
Sorry.
But isn't it 8 to pass the fiscal item?
Yes, but we have 10, so we're good. We're gold.
But she said 6 back.
I did say 6. Because it's not a majority.
I'd like to make a motion to pass the budget as presented.
Right, but hold
Public
on.
comment
I'm
first.
just saying-
Hasn't been read yet.
What time is
But
your
it's a
dinner
majority.
reservation?
It's a majority. Why
But
would it be?
this is fiscal. I
Heidi's
thought we
here.
had to have a quorum.
Heidi's here.
God. Oh, okay.
Bylaws stuff, yes, but here it's a simple
Oh,
majority.
well, okay, because I
6,
thought it was money.
Heidi
and we
is
had to.
present, so
Okay, Heidi
Oh, we got too
present.
many
Take
people.
me off for late.
Ready to get closed up?
This is a hell of a
I'm willing to
turnout.
leave.
So we have
Shut up.
voting members.
All right, call
Okay.
the meeting to order.
Update by the president. Thank you for all coming. We're gonna pass this thing and get out of here. Mr. Schiller has an 8 o'clock dinner arrangement, so
Okay, sounds
let's
good to
go.
me.
It's not about me.
Public
Yes,
comments.
public comments. Oh my God.
Real quick, one on point, one neener neener.
1001.
I would like to point out to everybody that you are all elected officials. And as elected officials and/or public figures, which would include me in that because I'm always out in the public, it's nearly impossible to slander or libel you by anybody in the public. They have to go out of their way to come up with something truly outrageous, obscene, etc. And even then, the law is iffy. So
New York Times is in New York.
the public law, the law is that, and being a public figure, you just gotta either put on armor plate or Teflon, one or the other, so it goes over and doesn't bother you. On a more humorous note, I would like to point out that I have been chair now for over a week, and I've yet to receive my email or my business cards. I'm gonna file a grievance. Carry on.
Did you get the resignation?
Just letting this know.
And I will email the vice principal president if he has to.
The vice
send out another
principal.
call for
That's
grievance
kind
channels.
of more or less.
Any more public comment?
No more public comment. Okay. Presentation of the budget. Motion on the floor. The Studio City Neighborhood Council, SCNC, has reviewed and approves the 2017-2018 budget. Did everybody see the budget that was emailed to them?
Yes.
Yes.
All right,
Did
you're
everybody
on.
see the one I emailed last night?
Yeah.
Right,
Yes.
okay, and then the one from last year. Okay, so it is what it is. This year we have $42,000. The city is making us put aside money for elections until they decide. So we have allocated, budget committee decided to present to the board an amount of $7,500. And then we worked backwards from there, filling in the rest of the categories. We went into the outreach, and you can see the numbers we did for outreach. And they, we were based on what we had done this past year. You saw the real numbers in the email I sent you. So these are very accurate, tried and true numbers. Last year we spent $19,000. This year we're budgeting $17,000. So we're on track. Operations, we trimmed 1,000. We spent $6,000. We budgeted $5,500. So we're right in line. This proposed budget is right in line with what our real expenses were last year, and the budget we approved before we started spending last year. So we did really good. We lowered the CIP, community improvement, to $2,000 since we only spent $2,000 instead of $4,000. And then neighborhood purpose grants, we lowered from $14,000 to $10,000 to put it into elections. And that's how we came up with the extra $7,500 for elections. Now, if elections are not going to be held, then we'll come back to the board whenever that day comes, and then we will assign categories for that money, and we'll have to do a revised budget. And we're 90% sure that $7,500 is going to go back into our budget in different areas, because the elections sound like they're going to be in 2019, but that's a different topic. So for now, placeholder, $7,500 for elections, $10,000 for neighborhood purpose grants, $2,000 community improvement, outreach, $17,000, and operations $5,500, brings us to $42,000. There was discussion last night about having the board or people who are interested in events bringing new ideas to the board. We decided to have 3 slots for events: the winter, spring, and summer. So the summer festival was a summer event. That maybe the Green Living Fair, or whatever it's going to be called this next year, will be called the Spring Festival / Green Living Fair. It depends Lisa's not going to be involved anymore. What the committee's going to do, we don't know. And then we have the fall, which was going to be Luminaria. So we're going to have more money once the elections are not going to happen, and people are welcome to bring new ideas for this year, like we did last year. That's what we talked about last.
Yep.
Oh, we also talked about more capital improvements. So we can have that as. I don't have to lead that discussion. I guess you can do that. I'm not the committee chair. About what we talked about.
Kaplan, I'm not committee chair either, but okay.
Well, we talked about putting perhaps some of that 7,500 into capital improvement. We don't have to make the decision now, but look at our office. If we had stakeholders come tonight, we can't have anybody even sit in here. Denise's office. Hey, John. Denise's office is completely full.
Oh, that's your, I thought it was
This is
mine.
not a work. It's a very difficult place to work in, and so we're talking about perhaps renting a storage space or renting a container, buying a container, putting some capital improvement in, buying some filing cabinets, getting this place in a little bit more organized. There are file boxes and things all over the place. We have stuff stored at the bottom of stage 20.
Yeah.
That's hard to have access to. That's where this stuff should be stored right now. So
We have to clean it first.
we'll bring those ideas to the budget, to the board again when that money is freed up. But we're thinking that operations could use another building. Actually, we did cameras and microphones, and we use the generators. We use them for our events, and so now we just feel like we need a more inviting, usable office. Many NCs pay a lot of money for rent for meetings. We pay nothing. So for us to pay a little money towards making this space work really is not out of line. That's all I have to say.
Also, we were discussing the website. I'm working with the city attorney because everybody needs to know why we have to go out. And I told them because no one is capable of doing what we want. We want a website that is easy to use. People will be able to go to it and find what they want. Each committee has their own page. Each committee is in charge of their own page. You don't have to come to me and ask me to talk to the webmaster to do something. This is asinine. You have a committee and you need to be pushing out what you're doing and you need to be contacting your people. And we don't have anybody in the queue of 6 who are capable. Sure, they can manage the website once it's built, but if the website is built well, web management is not going to be that difficult. So I have to get through to the people as to why we need to do what we need to do. Yes, sir.
So on that note, when we were looking at websites last year, I looked at every single neighborhood council website, and we made a short list of websites that we thought looked pretty cool. And then I contacted those neighborhood councils, and every single neighborhood council either had somebody who was proficient in building their own website, and they used the government issue, but had to supplement it by somebody outside who knew what they were doing or what they wanted. So,
You paid for it, you mean?
well, either it was a freebie or they figured out
Yeah.
Wait, how to put it in the
pay for I
budget.
don't know, but
Okay. So I am trying to get it through to them that these people are incapable. Sure, they can manage a website if somebody builds it for them and shows them how it works, but they are not as creative. They don't understand how to do what we're looking for. And everybody deserves to have a page that they can talk to their stakeholders, the people who are interested, and push out what it is each group is doing. I mean, it's we're sitting here with an antique cookie cutter green thing.
We also talked
Something has
about-
changed. One of the problems you have with the city webmaster is you're only budgeted X number of hours per month. It's a very small number, and everything that they do takes a minimum of 15 minutes. So you burn through, you make a couple changes here and there, and one major upload, and you're done for the month.
And
We also-
that's why I've tried to learn as much as possible on how to do what it is needs to be done without going to them. And I go to them when I don't know how to do
But I
it.
was filling in the rest of the crew.
Budget committee also talked about doing a mounted cameras in here that would be on a security system, DVR, the continuous record that we had that when we come in for a meeting, we don't have to have, professional, take people, so if we just hit a remote control and the meetings that are in here are recorded and they're put on a DVR and downloaded somehow, I mean, that would be a good capital expenditure too. So that was an idea brought up.
That way nobody could sleep in the rooms overnight.
We haven't had that happen for a while.
We've had problems with that, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Any more discussion or whatever? Yes,
I
ma'am.
have two things. So Rob, on what you sent out last night, it had 1617 instead of 1718.
That's because that's the template we're using.
Right. And when this goes in, it all goes online, and then it has to be submitted. There is no paper anything.
There's no new
Right.
template.
We
Oh,
just-
there was another page with the link that had a new template.
Yeah.
Is what.
Well, it's all right. When I
Right.
submit it, it's okay.
Okay, so anyway, and so then the other thing is.
I crossed it out on mine.
Yeah, I did too, but I just wanted to know if you were submitting it, that you wanted to change that. Anyway, where is the deficit, the $672,000 deficit? We got the email from Dunn about. Right.
$672.
Yeah,
Overdrawn.
remember the overdrawn, the thing that said we were
Where
overdrawn.
is it?
Where did that come out? What
I'll put
category
it in
did you
whatever,
take out
I
of?
don't know. I'll have to, when I do the June MER, I'll be able to know. I'm not even convinced we are short 600.
Because they won't give him all the information.
So I'm not gonna comment on it until I know, but I think it's gonna be outreach.
Okay, so you're just gonna take it
My
out
big
of.
mistake, the big mistake was that big tent we had was $517.
Right,
I thought the vendor already charged a credit card by the day they told him to, because I knew we had to pay for
Right.
everything. He didn't. The day after the event, they charged the card, and that's where we went over. If we're over 600, it's that $500 charge is most of it.
most of it,
So
right.
that would come out, to answer your question, that's the only I can think of, that would come out of outreach.
so okay, so,
But I want to line item it yet, because we're not there. We don't have to shuffle anything around yet.
okay. I just wanted to know what area you were planning to take it out of.
Outreach.
So you're just gonna take it out of outreach somewhere?
Sorry, Keith.
I'll take it out of Summer Festival.
Well, there's nothing in government to take it out of.
Yeah.
When will we know about the elections, whether we need to spend money for elections or not?
It's
Theoretically.
Theoretically, it should be out by the middle of the year, sometime in August.
Okay.
I'm sure they'll talk about it again in advance.
Oh, yeah.
For no avail.
They'll be talking
To no
about it.
avail.
The person who led my class on funding is the gentleman in charge. Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised to put off the announcement until this fall, just before the holiday season.
Yeah. Okay.
They're funny that way.
They
No
did
more.
it
No more
before.
questions.
Any other questions
Let
on the
us-
proposed budget?
Nope.
No,
Right.
and is there the strategic plan that goes with this?
Yes, the strategic plan. I
We spend all the money.
yeah. You,
Did you email it?
yeah, I emailed it.
There's a weird template with examples and an R
Yeah,
thing.
this looks strange because this has to be,
Yeah.
the template is essentially on the webpage, and you fill in the blanks and then hit submit. So what I did was fill in the blanks and say, print this for me, please.
Got it.
And then I said,
You print it with the examples and all the background
and I
stuff.
said, just keep it there and close. So all I had to do is go back in and add a couple of items. I had a couple of wrong dates, but other than that, it discusses what we did, what we thought we wanted to do, and what we think we want to do. It's easy, and they said, well, keep it simple. So I did. Okay.
Yeah, but we have real outreach. A lot of
Yeah,
DSCs don't do
I mean,
it.
and that's the thing. What is it that you want to do? And it's like outreach. We want to. We're trying to figure out what the people want, and Keith's going at them with questionnaires. And I think we can get there. And if we had a credible website, it'd be awesome. We would have one place that they could all go to.
As a longtime observer, you guys are much better at outreach and more enthusiastic about outreach than any of the previous board, the SCNC board I've had dealings with. So pat yourselves on the head.
It's also better than a lot of the other neighborhood councils. I go to their meetings and they're kind of disruptive.
Come a long way.
Yeah, we really
We've grown
have.
as a board.
Yes, we've learned. It was, you know,
Despite
on the
Don's
job
best-
training, I'm just
Take
saying.
you for a free hamburger.
On the job training.
All your
I
people.
think
Despite the
everybody-
city's best effort.
Good.
Next year.
Those
Are
are
we
good
going
hamburgers.
to amend the motion to approve the strategic plan
Yes,
as
we
well?
probably should.
Right, that's why I was asking.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because
I don't wanna waste time if everybody else has
this
read
all
it and
has to
stood
be,
with
this
it.
all has to be submitted as one
As one
budget
package,
package.
right.
This is all one budget
Which
package
is
and
why
this is part
I
of
asked
it.
for this to be sent, and I didn't get it, so I appreciate having this now.
Okay, I brought a few just in case. You want to amend
The budget
the-
and the strategic plan.
Right,
I'm just
okay.
gonna add, so budget and
and
strategic plan.
Okay. I got no problems with that.
Thank you.
All
By the
right,
way, Richard,
because this
congratulations again on
is
your award
somewhere down there.
and your commendation.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, Richard, we're not putting out to pasture, but you're interested in going out to stud?
So, can we,
I made somewhere in here the stack of agendas. On the back of that, I think is the roll call full. No, on the bottom. Let me-
but if we, okay,
What's that?
Forms.
just tick it off, and I'll just call.
Okay. All right.
So, Patrice Berlin,
Yes.
John Crotow,
Yes.
Alex Isbecki.
Here. Yes.
No,
I mean, roll call. I thought-
okay. Richard Niederberg,
Yes.
Craig Radow.
Yes.
Rob Schiller.
Yes.
Keith Schwallenberg.
Yes.
Richard Welsh.
Yes.
Andrew Sussman.
Yes.
Rita Viet, yes. Denise Walbang.
Yes.
Okay, so it's unanimous. 12 voting members present, 12 passed the motion.
Who's
Perfect.
present?
He was here last
He's
night.
he's in Malibu.
Forthwith to the mayor.
He voted no last year.
Won a major award.
Exactly.
Think of it this way. It's just after 7:15, the meeting's almost over. If Previn was here,
Talking a lot.
You're on camera. Okay.
Don't forget you're on
So
camera.
the
that
motion
is give it a good
passed?
shot.
Motion
Let Dennis be done.
passes.
Closing comments by the
Excellent.
president?
As they say, forthwith to the mayor.
Who says that?
I'd like to have a
That's
closing comment. We,
But it was the president's closing comment.
No, there's supposed to be board members.
She didn't provide that on this
Well, that's a
agenda.
presidential error in
Thanks,
final
President.
agreements.
I tried my
Let's
best.
She
What
was
do you
trying
need,
to keep it
Alex?
short.
well, no, I just want to. We had a hearing from our councilman last meeting, and the things that are coming out of the things that are coming out from planning is different than what we were told as far as meetings regarding the Harvard Westlake project.
You're surprised?
Yeah.
Well, it's not a question of that. It's a question of we as the board who recommended story polls over a year ago. And I believe the council office was in agreement with it.
Right.
And now that we have this first meeting happening, any information that's gonna be reflected on the public should be with full knowledge, which I would think that would include story polls. So I would suggest that,
Didn't he
You know,
even say he agreed with
our-
me?
Yeah, you said
With all
you
due respect, do you really want the extra traffic on Coldwater stopping and looking at the story polls?
Yes, because that
The
will
balloons,
replicate.
the balloons out of mind. The balloons are okay.
who cares?
Okay,
No,
guys.
that's not the question. The question.
This is not
question
a
is
back and
topic.
forth.
It will
This is not a
replicate
back
the
and
traffic
forth.
from the parking lot. It's a
Guys,
great idea.
This is
This
not
is
a
not a
debate.
debate.
Stop.
Cállate.
So my point is that I urge our powers that be here to get on it and start calling a council office and let them know that this is something that is going to be either respected and done, or they're gonna just
Uh-huh.
sweep it under the rug. We have to realize that. So the clock's ticking now.
Clock is ticking.
So that's it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Close the comments.
Closing comments. This is a record. I'm impressed. Thank you very much. Have a good dinner.
Thank you.
Do I have a?
Where are you going?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion?
Boa.
Motion
Oh,
to
that's
adjourn?
good.
Second.
Here.
We have a
Here you
second.
come.
I call for